Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we've got big update on Victor Gyökeres. Transfer news coming in hot off the press. This can't wait till 8 o'clock. This is a quick update on where we are. So Fabrizio Romano has been speaking about the Gyökeres situation, and I do feel that, look, the one that really stands out to me, the really big update was that direct quote, with Champions League football, I was 99% sure that Man United would close this deal very quickly for Gyökeres. That was the feeling. This is hotting up, people. This is hotting up. I'm not going to say it's hotter than the sun, and I have said that before, but what did I say to you yesterday lunchtime? What I saw, I'd be stunned if we didn't sign him. It's in United's hands to mess it up. Lots going on, but I think the big thing to say first of all is there was an update this afternoon from Sky Sports saying that Manchester United had, and let me get me quotes right here, Man United have made through intermediaries an initial approach for Gyökeres. This is not true. This is not true. There's people out there who put stuff out there that's not true. Like, when you do your digging on these so-called ITKs, the stories they break were actually broken a few hours before by somebody else. They just collate information and take it off as their own. There aren't that many sources out there I trust. And I'm telling you now, even I was tweeting about that this afternoon. That's not true. We haven't made approaches through intermediaries to Gyökeres in the last day. This has been going on for a long time. We've been in talks with Gyökeres for a long time. As I said this morning, who knows, maybe even since Amrin left in Sporting in November. It's been going on for a long time. This is not new. This is not, Man United haven't, some people are reporting it like over the weekend we've decided to move for Gyökeres. We haven't. Fabrizio said it on the night of the Europa League final, strong interest, and he's just said it in the last few minutes. Champions League football, I was 99% sure that Man United would close the deal quickly. We were in talks then, weeks ago. So, look, this is why the United Stand's so important. It's a community, it's a conversation, but there's so much stuff that gets put out there that's just not true. People who act as if they're ITKs, and actually then you can find they're breaking something that was broken a couple of hours before by somebody else. Man United have been in talks with Gyökeres for a considerable period of time. What is becoming very, very clear is that this deal was there and it was going to happen if we'd beaten Spurs. And that is something that's very difficult to take. But what Fabrizio has also said, I expect the Gyökeres situation is one to watch in the coming days. So hopefully it's going to come to fruition very, very, very soon. He's also said that Manchester United have and do face competition from Juventus and from Al Hilal. Al Hilal are interested, but the player's priority isn't a move to Saudi Arabia. So that's from Fabrizio as well. Juventus are in contact, but Al Hilal have expressed interest, but his priority isn't a move to Saudi Arabia. So I think the update's really strong, actually. I think it's really strong. It fits in with what we were talking about yesterday, what I said on Twitter about being shocked if he didn't sign for Manchester United. And I will reveal that if he signs for us or not. I just don't want to put it out there because it will cause trouble. But Fabrizio is saying 99% if we'd got the Champions League. We didn't get the Champions League. That causes a bit of an issue. But Al Hilal going from Bruno to Osimhen to Gyökeres, logical. I'm calm about that. If he wants the money in Saudi, then there's nothing we can do. But it doesn't feel like he does. So you can almost discount that one, which then opens the race up back to where it was. Us, Juventus, maybe Arsenal, maybe PSG, maybe another club. But at the moment, Man United, Man United, Man United. And can I just say this as well? I mean, I don't want to get people too excited, but in relation to the next club odds for Gyökeres, we are literally, basically, more than odds on. We're 1 to 2. We're 8 to 11. We're 4 to 6. We're 8 to 15. These are all odds with numerous different bookmakers. The next closest is any Saudi Arabian team at 5 to 1. The next one after that is any Spanish club at 8 to 1. So Arsenal have drifted out to 9 to 1 with Bet365. Liverpool are 9 to 1 with Bet365. Juventus are 14 to 1. So look, I'm not saying follow that, but what the bookmakers in the UK are basically saying is don't bet on Man United. We're not taking bets on Man United. It's just too obvious. So really, really big updates. Really exciting updates. I mean, you know what? It takes a lot to get me excited about a transfer these days with Man United because we've seen it all before. And, you know, you almost go, I've been excited before. I've had my fingers burnt before. But this is a top off. This is a top off run round the garden video. And it will happen. This is such a significant signing. It's so important that Man United get this done now. I think we can all sit there pontificating about Gyökeres or Osman would be perfect for Man United, and we've done that time and time again. You know, you could say Rodrigo would be brilliant for Man United, or Kimmich would be brilliant at Man United. You know, we've all got players that would be brilliant at Man United, but the difference with this is a player that would be brilliant at Manchester United, that Manchester United have got the power to sign. That's the exciting thing. And as I said, Fabrizio saying next few days are key. Also, he's not really interested or prioritising a move to Saudi. And the big one for me is Fabrizio Romano, one of the two best transfer story experts by a very long way when it comes to Manchester United. You've got all the nonsense, and then you've got Fabrizio and David Ornstein up here, and my source, to be fair. They're sort of in between. But I'm joking. But the point is, when Fabrizio Romano is saying, I was 99% sure that Man United would close the deal quickly if they'd win the Champions League, that was the feeling. That just 99% sure that Man United would close the deal quickly for Gyökeres if they'd won the Champions League. That just brings it back. That nightmare night in Bilbao against Spurs. That brings back the enormity of how big that loss was. That we, and I remember Fabrizio tweeting about it the night before the game. So we were that 99% sure that we would get him. But does 99% go to zero? It doesn't sound like it does. It sounds like this still happens. You've got to sell the project a little bit more. You have to sell the project a little bit more. But I remember a comment from Gyökeres' agent where he basically said, we had a lot of offers to leave Sporting, but Amrin being here was the reason we stayed. So there is that connection with Amrin. There is that connection. So this is a very exciting update. But be careful what you listen to. Really be careful. We've been doing this for 10 years. Some people start it up in the last 2 years, the last 3 years. We've been doing it for 10 years. We've played the game together. You've got to call out, you haven't got to call it out, but you've got to spot the bullshit. Man United didn't start having talks with Gyökeres' intermediaries at the weekend. This has been going on for bloody ages. We are very advanced on this deal. Clearly very advanced on this deal. The question is, can we get it over the line? And if we do, this trumps Cunha and Burmo by a very long way, in my opinion. This deal is just incredible. I'm going to be back live with you at 8 o'clock. Exciting. Get your comments in. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. We're very close to 2.1 million. We're about 200 away, by the way. Share, smash a like and subscribe. I will speak to you at 8 o'clock, but this is significant. And look, to be fair, we've been tracking this Gyökeres story from the start. And as I said to you yesterday, I'm very excited. And as I said to you yesterday lunchtime, from what I saw, I'd be stunned if this deal doesn't happen. And look what's happened since I said that. It's getting closer and closer, and more is coming out. Very exciting. Speak to you all in a bit. Take care. 8 o'clock live.